Welcome to Diary of an Ex-Ho. I'm Cheri Hardman. I'm your ex-ho, and today's guest is Jackson Graham. So sit back, enjoy the episode, and remember the old saying, always a bridesmaid when you're a hoe.
My name's Jackson Graham. I'm from Bellingham, Washington. I go by she, they. My sexual orientation is pretty femme people, general. And my relationship status is taken. I've been with the same person for 6 years now.
All right. All right. So the first thing we always do is a marry, shag, kill. But I didn't know you, and I didn't really know your orientation or anything.
Sure.
So
Well, I love with everyone,
I did the best I could with what I knew. So let me go grab it.
Yeah. They say shag like Austin Powers.
I know. Well, that's how they do it on do you know God, what's his name? Andy for the Real Housewives and everything.
Andy Cohen.
Yes, that's how they do it. Hang on. I gotta go fix this screen before I share it because there might be stuff showing that's
nothing crazy.
Well, just like private talks I don't want to share. Okay, now I can come back and share this. Share screen. There we go. And they say that you really shouldn't swear like in the first 10 minutes of something like this. So
oh yes. Okay.
So that's why it's married. That's why it's shag. Yeah.
Got you.
After this, it doesn't matter. You can swear all you want.
All right.
So
I'll hold back.
Like I said, I try to orient this to the person, but sometimes I'm off. So you got to marry one, you got to shag one, you got to kill one. I gave you the polyamorous edition. These are people that are all polyamorous. So we have Shailene Woodley, Tom Ford, and Bella Thorne. Who are you going to marry? Who are you going to shag? Who are you going to kill?
This is really tough. I don't think any of these people are bearable past the 10-minute mark. I am a sucker for Tom Ford perfumes.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm going to have to go for Tom for Mary.
All right.
And I'm reluctantly shagging Shailene Woodley.
Okay.
Isn't she married to Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know.
Yeah. But lots of camo in that house. Big fan of the Divergent series, however. And on a moment's notice, without any hesitation, killing Bella Thorne.
All right. There she goes.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, Bella. Okay. When it comes to sex, would you rather watch or be watched?
I don't like to be watched by the person that I'm having sex with. I find complete anonymity to be great. I'd rather be watched and do it like an Olympian, televised, and really train, go through the whole gamut, and have a lot to show for on television. I think I would be very talented personally. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think I could be like a cuck though. I don't think I could be the one who watches because I don't think sex is really like a spectator sport. Same with porn. Why don't you just go and have sex with someone?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you gotta watch someone else? Why is there gotta be some distance there? You're scared. That's what I'm thinking.
Huh. I think there's a ton of reasons that people do that kind of stuff. But when you were a kid, what did your parents or whoever raised you call private parts?
I had a very granola mom, so I knew all the words, could use all the words. It didn't really matter.
Mhm.
And I remember my mom telling me one day while she was doing the dishes, uh, boys have a penis and girls have a vagina. A little out of fashion now.
Right.
Um, and she told me, yeah, you have a penis. And I was like, you have a vagina? That's way cooler. That's that sounds so much cooler. And yeah, that stuck out in my head too. And then after learning about both the genitalia, I was like, well, there's a clear disparity in the faculties of a penis compared to a vagina. Vagina is no competition uh, compared to what it's just some member, some flesh member, the cock, and it doesn't do much. It can't clean itself, can't produce babies.
It just
It's
kind of hangs out. Yeah.
and like it's in the way.
Hmm. Well,
So
that's true. Were your parents together like when you were growing up, or
no, no,
not at all?
yeah, they got a divorce,
All right.
um, and they couldn't be more different. My mom is like granola hippie. My dad is like far right kind of Republican guy. I
Huh.
actually just got this from my grandmother. It's on my desk here. It's the United States $2 bill with Trump's mugshot on it.
Oh,
She told me that she'd get me and my partner one.
well, that's nice.
It's not legal tender, but no,
Um,
they were together.
all right. So, what do you think brought them together if they're that different?
They both worked at a car wash, and Washington, there isn't much to do in kind of the more suburban areas. So they were just playing like the card game War for hours on end.
Mhm.
And my dad was he was a sweet guy from what I could tell when he was young. Um, just some substance changes. He used to smoke a lot of weed, and then he got caught smoking his bong on the highway. So my mom was like about to have my sibling, and they're like, "Well, you can't get arrested for weed if you're gonna have a baby." So then he started like drinking, and then you get to my age when I'm like a child, and it's like, "Oh, dad's he's setting up the playhouse, but he's got a whole six pack, and it's like 11 a.m." Um, so it's circumstantial.
Mhm. You're right.
Yeah, my mom didn't have like a lot of security growing up too, so I'm sure dude with a nominal amount of security compared to because she like uh lived by herself starting at 18.
Hmm.
Her mom ran away with an Elvis impersonator to
Yeah.
Greece.
No
Uh,
way.
so
Oh,
yeah, my dad was a perfect option.
yeah. Well, did you have any good relationship role models in your life, like growing up?
I watched Mrs. Doubtfire every single night. So kinda. I was telling my mom like, why did I watch Mrs. Doubtfire every single night before bed? And she said that I started doing that after her and my dad got a divorce. So is that some inner Freudian turmoil? Do I want my dad to dress up like an old English woman in order to hang out with me? Possibly.
Huh. Well, I think it's probably just more about how he really loved his kid.
Yeah. He was Robin Williams is hairy like my dad too.
Really.
Mhm.
Um, so how do you think what you observed about relationships has affected you and your relationships?
Um, I've never seen my grandparents kiss. Never once in my life. Um, and now that I'm with my partner over the past 6 years, um, I feel like I take careful precautions to like not be a couple in front of other people because I don't want to like be annoying or gross, I guess. So
Um,
I definitely noticed that like some weird puritanism uh
hmm.
that I bring into a lot of relationships, and I have a hard time opening up. Um,
Do you
this
think?
is getting much deeper than I thought it would on Diary of an Ex-Ho. This is
Well, we're going to get more sexual here in a minute, but so do you think that that makes your partners ever feel like you're embarrassed of them or anything?
mm, like no, because my partner too is also kind of similar in that way. They don't want to be like overly affectionate in front of other people.
Right,
They definitely like it when it's more private. And that doesn't mean that like I'm, I still hold their hand. I still like hug them in public, and like kiss in front of other people.
right,
But it's not like a sustained couple energy all the time. So
right.
a
I
lot of
get.
times we're just good friends.
All right. Now I want you to tell me about your sexual awakening. Like when you first like really realized that their sex was a thing, whether it was because somebody told you something or you saw something or just you felt something. But can you kind of tell me
Yeah.
about that?
Um, I don't remember which film it is, but I believe that there's a movie called Super Troopers where Lady Cop feels up one of the main characters, and then that was kind of like a didn't turn me on, but I was like, now what the hell is going on here? This these aren't two cowboys, on horses, fighting the bad guys. What's going on here? And then I I don't know if you know this, but I'm pretty young. I was born in like 2003. So I grew up like with like the internet and just porn all over the internet. I was on this website called Tumblr. It's like a blog website. I think the first strictly porn I ever saw was, Bowser from Mario, the big uh,
Hmm.
turtle guy. His cock, full mast, like, and it was strangely a very good illustration. That's the thing about the internet porn. You admire it for its artistic quality as well. Like, oh wow, look at how they got like Bowser from Mario's chiseled abs and his like weird turtle cock. Can I swear now?
Hmm.
Okay. Um, so that was like first strictly porn that I saw, and I was looking for my dog at the time. My dog Stevie ran away, and I was walking around and I got bored. I decided to go on Tumblr, and the first thing was Bowser cock. Um, I did find my dog, but I came back a little different. And first kiss I ever had was in kindergarten, and this girl kissed me and surprised me, and she was like, "We're gonna get married," and the thought of that disgusted me so much, and I like yelled at her. I said, "No, I'm not gonna marry you. I'm gonna marry my mom," and I never lived that down. We had to move away. Um, but it was also like a Montessori school, so I feel like a lot of those kids wanted to like marry their moms. They're weird.
A lot of kids want to marry their moms. Um, do you think watching porn has affected you in any way?
Mm-hmm. Well, like they're like again with the internet thing, it was very like kind of cultural. Like I remember knowing the names of porn stars, I remember going to a party for someone's birthday and locking people in a closet with a phone playing hentai and be like, "No, let us out." And you people would sneak in the Pornhub drum roll, like the dum dum dum. They'd sneak that into choir concerts.
Oh,
Um, like all the alto section would do the Pornhub theme. Um, Sometimes percussion in the big bands would sneak it in. Um, and I remember early on when my because again my mom's granola, she'll fucking say whatever. She told me like, hey, don't watch porn. Because she still thought somehow that I was straight or something. When I watched like, you know, buxom blondes, then I was gonna get like a weird perception of like ladies and such. And she didn't even grasp that it was like fucking Bowser porn that would show up, not fucking like ladies. Um, but no, my mom's super open about that stuff. My mom and I were looking for wedding dresses because she was getting remarried, and she started apologizing for circumcising me. It was something that she had regretted for a long time, and she thought it was a good time to bring it up in this dress shop. Yeah, she's an interesting lady, but no, I mean I don't really watch porn. I'm
okay.
more into like the you feeling your own body.
Okay. What's your definition of amazing sex?
Um, like comfortable and like kind of an even keel. And I don't really like using my dick. It's so weird because I'm on like estrogen, so like it makes me feel weird, you know. Most of the time, if I'm doing penetrative sex, I feel like kind of a stick bug, you know, um, and I don't know how to like orient myself correctly. So bottoming is leagues more pleasurable for me.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I've always wondered about that. I mean, like I've always wondered, like, don't you kind of have to just like remove yourself mentally from the penis thing, you know? Like, I don't know.
well, like you can try, but in the end, it's still in your butt, not your vagina. So there's always that kind of thing too. The main thing for me when I was growing up, I was really sad that I couldn't carry children. That was like one of the first indications for me that
Mm,
I wanted the different set of parts. Um, couldn't carry my own baby.
right.
Yeah. So I feel like good sex is uh gender affirming for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything else just kind of naturally flows after that. If both parties feel comfortable. Also
Okay.
not in public. Public sex is really hard. You get nervous. I was in a marsh and like a bunch of wildlife conservation signs were everywhere. And in Washington State, the wildlife conservation markers and like signs, they all have Martin Luther King on it. So if you're trying to have public sex, and if you're trying to have public sex in Washington State, you're probably within a 50-foot proximity of Martin Luther King. And that makes it a little uncomfortable for me.
Yeah. Let's go to the wheel of dirty questions.
Oh, I love wheels and do you like Wheel of Fortune?
Got it. Yeah, we got to get rid of these guys.
Dude, kill.
Away.
The Amorous edition.
Come on, spin the wheel. Go.
Let's see.
All right. Here we go.
All right, what are these
You only got to
questions
answer
here?
one. So let's see.
Okay. Do you
Do you
think
think
bigger is better? Hmm. I was just talking to a friend who has penis envy. They wish that they had a bigger penis.
Hmm.
I I don't again trans girl, so I don't want a bigger penis. That'd be weird.
Right.
Um, hmm. And again with like the whole butt thing, you gotta work your way up. You know, you can't just go right in because and if you're gonna do bigger too, you have to douche. Smaller, you don't necessarily have to douche. It'll still smell like poop, but there's a lot that you have to consider uh when you're the one,
Uh-huh.
especially when it's bigger. And so I don't think necessarily no. It's not. And the isn't it like the prostate and the G spot are like 3 inches in?
Right.
Yeah. I don't have uh what is it the I don't have a cervix. I can't have a cervix thing. So they're just going to be like touching my large intestine. That won't feel good.
Yeah. Right.
That's not sex. That's a colonoscopy. You
Yeah.
know.
Sometimes I can't tell like if you're joking or not. So weird. How's your body image?
It's getting a lot better. Um, it's weird too. I didn't know that people had hormone dysphoria, like the actual hormones, not the body images that are associated with those hormones. But then when I was talking to my doctor, she asked me if I had hormone dysphoria, and that was completely foreign to me. But now that I am on the hormones for a couple days now, there is a noticeable difference in like because I don't necessarily look different, but the hormones do have like a little corrective measure. And there's also with being trans, there's like the whole idea of like the biological clock is ticking and you have to get on hormones earlier. Otherwise you're gonna like go through puberty and then second puberty and it'll be like too late for you, which is a bunch of bogus. Um, so I think just having the hormones, even when they haven't done any changes to my appearance quite yet, it makes me feel more safe in my body. And I do like looking at it more. Um, like I said, if I was during like penetrative sex or like just like staring at my body, um, feels weird. Um, I think mirrors also do that too, though. I have more pleasure looking at myself just from my own perspective rather than in a mirror. Because you gotta like pose and such. Um, it doesn't feel good. So I feel good in my body recently.
Okay. What's the best compliment you've ever gotten on your naked body?
Mm, I just like being soft and like plump, which sucks because I am so skinny. Um, my doctor's telling me that the estrogen will redistribute my fat, so I really have to make sure that I have fat to redistribute. Otherwise I'm just going to be a bunch of bones. Um, so yeah, I like feeling soft and plump. Yeah, I like those compliments.
Okay. Do you have any sexual regrets?
I had sex really early, and I was that is not like sex, like penetrative, but like I was like fooling around really early. Um, so that's definitely a big regret for me. Like I started when I was 13, and I told my dad that I started at 13, and he was like, "Well, I started at 12." Like as like to like one up me. I don't think he meant it like that, but it's how it sounded.
Right.
Uh, So yeah, that'd probably be one. Just starting too early
Right.
with the wrong people.
Do you have anything left on your sexual bucket list that you never tried to
Sexual
try? Yeah.
sexual bucket list. Probably go to Berlin, you know. If you don't they have like crazy like sex places and
Oh, I don't
like
know.
tons of shit.
Probably, yeah.
Those Germans have a real good sex culture.
Yeah.
Um yeah, lots of leather and such. I don't know. I really like the sex culture too, like kink and stuff. Because I'm not really like into it. It seems like a lot of preparation, a lot of money that I don't have. Um, but I love the aesthetics and the music and like the culture to it. I think it's very cool. My friend,
It's artistic.
yes, yeah, my roommate went to Berlin. They went to this crazy sex club, and when they sat down because they were like tired, they sat down on this leather ottoman, and the ottoman moaned because it was a guy. It was a guy.
Wow, really?
Yeah, that's what you can do in Germany. You know, you can be a bench.
What's your hoe song? Like a song that when you hear it, it kind of
Oh
brings out your hoe spirit.
gosh, This Kiss by Faith Hill. You know, you know that song,
Uh, yeah.
This Kiss, This Kiss, centrifugal motion. All I wanted was a good man with a soft heart, soft touch, fast horse, fast horse. That one, and same key as Faith Hill's This Kiss is Let It Go by Keisha Cole with Missy Elliott and Lil Kim. Uh, that one's great. That one's great. Um, you know that song, Let It Go by
Mm.
Keisha Cole? Oh, you gotta listen to Keisha Cole, man. She's the greatest.
Oh, I will. I am going to make a playlist on my YouTube channel just of all the hoe songs that people have said are their hoe songs.
What are your host songs? I feel like this is a good question.
My hoe song is Tonight I'm Fucking You by Enrique Iglesias. I like something real obvious, you know.
Yeah. Dude, my friend Brett Emerson, this is a good answer too. I asked my friend Brett Emerson if he liked Judas Priest. You know that song like breaking the law, breaking the
Uh,
law. My friend Brett said that Judas Priest sounds like ass pounding music.
uh,
It's got that rhythmic
that's
force.
funny. My
Like,
husband's a metalhead, and yeah, I get that. It is, yeah.
does he ever play like Cannibal Corpse or maybe like what are some good metal songs that would be sexy? Because I feel like uh what is it called? The one with Peter Steele in it. Um, because he's sexy as fuck. You know Peter Steele?
Uh-uh.
He's like definitive metal like guy, like only wears black shirts with the short cut, long black hair, vampiric bone structure. Gosh, it's gonna kill
I
me.
don't know, but I think back in the day, like, my husband and I were way older than you. And so, he would listen to stuff like that. And like, I can't even think of who his favorite group is, but I listen to them and like, to me, it's totally asexual. I mean, it's like, it sounds sexual, the pounding, but they're always singing about the devil or
Yeah.
some war back in whenever, like, I'm like, don't you guys want to fuck? Like, I think they were just the guys that never got any.
Yeah,
And so
there's some
they
of
took
that.
their aggression out a different way.
But then like all the people that were getting some back then were like dressing up like Morrissey or like Depeche Mode. I feel like Depeche Mode guys with the long leather jackets and like the slick back
Uh-huh.
hair and
Uh-huh.
like the sunglasses, they were fucking
Mm-hmm.
Depeche Mode guys. And then there's also like the softer version of the 80s boy, like I said, like Morrissey, like the sensitive kind of of feminine boys. I feel like they were also getting a lot of play. But no, the metalheads were all just kind of, well, like Brett said, ass pounding music. They're all pounding ass, wearing leather chaps, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is repeating_gossip.
Okay.
It's the name of a talk show that I run.
All right. So when is this show going to come out? I didn't look that up. Let's say probably end of July. So do you have anything like in August that you want to promote or anything?
In August, I will have another one of my shows. It's going to be a smaller one because we're rolling back for summer because there's a low attendance for summer.
Right.
So we're coming back in the fall, starting in August. That'll be more of a low-key show. Bunch of interviews and bits and gaps. But then in September, we're doing a bigger show for the new school year. We're gonna have one of my favorite drag artists in the area, Count Dicula, who also performed in some of my kink parties. And they just got back from Austria. And we're gonna have hopefully the band Zookra. They're really fun. They're from Seattle. And then we're gonna have a miniature horse, possibly two miniature horses. And we've had goats on before. We've had 3 goats on. Same lady who brought the goats is going to bring 2 miniature horses. Last time we stacked Oreos on the goats. We might stack Oreos on the horses as well. And last time we surprised the lady who brought the goats with a baton to twirl because she had offhandedly mentioned that she did baton twirling in high school. But when I handed it to her, she was horrified because it was the wrong baton. So this time we're gonna have the right baton. She's gonna have 2 miniature horses, and she's gonna spin the proper baton. Yes.
All right. I think she's going to kill it too. So.
Yes. Oh, she's great.
All right. So now we're to the point, and I forgot to warn you about this, but
This is
I just want you to tell me an entertaining sex story. It can be fun, hilarious, embarrassing, touching. I don't care, but adjective.
Well, so I signed up for this because I've run 2 kink parties, 2 private kink parties, and each of them had about 200 people at them. And the place that I'm in right now, this is my home office. The place that I live right now, I started living here because I wanted to set up the sex parties. So my housing was happened because of these sex parties. I just saw it online because it's this big dance hall that's above a paint store in Bellingham, and I saw pictures of it online. There's a bunch of red lights and like dolls hanging from the ceiling, a bunch of like skylights everywhere. And in my head, I was like, this would be a perfect dungeon for like a sex party. And I hit up the person who owned it, and they're my roommate now, and they hit it off with me. They were like, yeah, this is great. And yeah, I did a kink party in, I believe, January of, or no, I did it in October of last year. That was the first one. Yeah. And then we did another one for the summer. And we had like drag artists come through. We did a DJ, and we had like several rooms dedicated to like kink. And we set out like a bunch of flogs and whips. We put plastic all over all of our couches, and I was like a dungeon monitor, so I was going around telling people like, you can't, no fingering, take that out of them, uh, not on my couch, right? And because it's a place that where you go to get horny, and then you find someone and you leave, and then you tend to your business elsewhere. Um, but I guess we were kind of inviting it. Like we had kennels and shit, had like benches with sockets to like tie people up on. We put a lot of effort into these things. Um, and I met so many people in the kink community. I got a really good sort of character of the whole kink community. I feel like in these couple of insular moments, because there was leather people, puppy play people, like the whole gamut. Lots of people kind of thought that we were like an actual venue and this wasn't like our house. So I had this dog named Bob come up to me and ask for a beer. And I had to tell the dog, sorry, we don't have any beer. And I see them like uh, they have a word for it, the puppy players. Uh, like clopping or something. Yeah, they were clopping, and you just get around on all fours, and you get into playpen. We had a playpen, and they would play in it. Um, there were lots of people flirting with me, but I was in dungeon monitor mode, so it was like, get away from me. I had that person's fingering on my couch, and my partner was selling like uh, kind of kink art. They do actually have one right here. They made this. So they're selling some prints over there. Um, at one point in the night, these two guys came in, and we had like a no phone policy, and these two normal guys came in, and they're like, I think they just thought it was like uh, a rave or something. They
Hmm.
came in and saw everything happening, and they were traumatized. They ran out, but we got their money. And then at one point, the old prospector came by. This old man that occasionally goes to shows here has a big uh dusty hat and a cane and a bandana. He's like 80. And he came in, and the people doing doors, they were eating banh mi, so they just kind of let him in. Uh didn't make him pay. So I'm walking around this kink party that I'm hosting, right? Leather and harnesses and dog people walking around. And I see the old prospector. And it was just such an odd like experience. It's like something that shouldn't happen. And he asked me for a beer too. The old prospector asked me for a beer. I was like, "Oh no, sir, we don't have any beer." And he left right after. Um,
Sounds like a
so
fever dream or something. Yeah.
yeah, it was one of the most stressful things I've ever had to plan for. And the next day, I thought I did like 8 points of Molly. My dopamine receptors were completely fried. My ears were ringing, and I was like, "Oh, that was really fun. We should do it again." But it ruins your life for about 2 weeks. Everything's in disarray. There's a We had a kennel sitting in our kitchen for like a week.
Right.
It reeks. The like humidity of a kink party is disgusting.
Oh,
It, you get a wave of sweat coming, and we had curtains splitting off the like playrooms, so I had
right.
to open it to like check things out. It was like, you ever walked inside of like a jujitsu studio, and like eight guys are like wrestling, and you get that wall of humid air and sweat. Kink parties are the exact same. Kink parties smell the exact same as jujitsu dojos.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, those are that I'd say regarding sex, that was like my favorite thing that I've done. There's it was like going to like it was like Dante's Inferno. Like
Mm,
I descended the 7 steps of
right,
hell, and I saw everything, and I can't even put into words everything that I saw.
right.
Like the old prospectors, tip of the iceberg. There's like, but we had a snack table as well. So like it's like all the
A
most
little bit of
degenerate.
everything sounds like.
It's like all the most degenerate activities in one room, and then in the other room where we have snacks and like goldfish. um, yeah, I'm trying to think of if there's anything else specific that happened at the king parties that were just
Well, that's good. That was it.
mind-bending.
That was an interesting story.
I feel bad though because it was just it's there's no continuity. It is just a series of
Just
dreams.
imagery, you know.
Yeah, just dreams. Um, yeah, it was horrifying, but
All
also
right.
beautiful. It's not horrifying. I just want to stress that because I don't want to make it sound like I
I'm
think
gonna
these are
be
like
judgmental. Yeah.
no, I'm not judgmental. It's beautiful. I mean I set the thing up for crying out loud.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for us. Thank you so much. I'm glad you were able to make it.
Yes, I was so sorry for being late. But this was very fun.
All right. Well, it has been fun. It's been nice meeting you, and maybe I'll see you around sometime.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'd
Yep.
love to do some stand up sometime, man.
All right. All right. Have
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Thanks again.
Bye bye.